Day 15 of Broncos training camp is in the books, and I'm with the Hall of Famer Steve Atwater to break it all down. Steve, kind of a mental day out there. A lot of coaching, a lot of talking through some different things, and a lot of tight red zone work as well. Steve, when we look back to a year ago, obviously we know the red zone, particularly inside the 10-yard line, inside the 5-yard line, Sean Payton has talked about. I think he said it was awful. He's talked about how it just wasn't good enough a year ago. Yeah. What do the Broncos need to do to be better down there this season, both offensively and defensively?
I would say, first off, offensively, we have to be able to establish the run. If you can't establish the run, it's going to be difficult for you to even get to the tight red zone. And also just everybody being on the same page and knowing that, hey, we have a shorter field. We don't have as much time to do all the things that we normally would if we were further back. So, and then guys making plays. Somebody stepping up, making a play, saying, all right, if the ball's coming to me, I'm putting it in the end zone.
What about defensively, Steve?
And defensively, the same thing. You got to know that it's a shorter field. You can't backpedal full speed, knowing that you may have 20 yards or less for the receiver to run the route. You got to be quick to respond to run, to read the run keys and get up there and help on the run, and just being physical. Physicality is huge in the tight red zone.
Seems like you also got to have a really good sense of what's going on. I know that sounds basic, but if you don't know your assignment, if you don't know the scheme, Joe Lombardi was talking about that on Thursday, just, hey, another year in this system is going to help. But I would think defensively, if it's matching up with guys, you can't let guys run free. But I assume when you think about it, the mental's got to be really sharp down there too, right?
Oh, especially, defensively. Now, offenses, most of the time, if they're going in motion and stuff, they know what they're doing. But defensively, I've said this many times, whenever somebody goes in motion, there's at least one person on defense that's unsure of what's going on and what the adjustment is. And so you got to be clear on what your responsibilities are, and you got to be able to think really quickly down in the red zone area.
The Broncos got some kind of half-speed red zone work there, working on some different things in the tight red zone, and then they had an end-of-game drill down 5 points. Jarrett Stidham, big play to David Sills. Depending on who you ask, if you ask Jarrett Stidham, they scored at the end. If you ask the defense, there was a sack on 4th down. Bo Nix then led the second group down. They scored a touchdown. I believe Michael Bandy there on the reception. So some good both half-speed kind of mental work and full-speed work there in the red zone, Steve. I'm excited for tomorrow's practice. I don't know about you. The Green Bay Packers are coming in here for a joint practice. They've obviously got I think we can call him a superstar quarterback in Jordan Love. He came on
last year.
Really strong. Let's start defensively, going against Jordan Love, those receivers that the Packers have, Josh Jacobs in there at running back. What sort of work do you want to see the defense get in, and what do you want to learn about that group tomorrow?
Well, first off, Josh Jacobs, when he was with the Raiders, he had our number. I don't think he played a game against us where he didn't get at least 100 yards. So we have to let him know early that that's not happening anymore, that we're a much different defense. We're a better defense, and we can stop the run. And until we do that, until we prove that, I think we're going to have something to prove, But once we show that we can stop the run, I think things will start to turn around, and guys will know for sure that, hey, we're a much better defense.
When you talk about the passing game, for these young corners, Riley Moss, Damari Mathis, what sort of test is it going to be to go against Jordan Love, and how helpful can that be that, hey, you can, there's no score tomorrow during practice, right? But you still want to put your best foot forward, but it's a chance to work against a guy that late in the year, Steve, was right up there with the best quarterbacks in the league.
Yeah, Jordan Love, he's a great young quarterback. I was kind of happy for him that he came on that way last year. I like to see young quarterbacks struggle some, and then they finally get it. But it's going to be a big test for Riley Moss, for
Damari
Mathis, all those guys. And the biggest thing is going to be knowing your responsibilities. And, we talked about that a little earlier. And we've seen a few mistakes by the defense where the offense was able to score easy touchdowns here the last couple of days. And so they got to get that cleaned up and make sure that they're on the same page. Because I think if they know what they're doing, I think they'll be able to hang with anybody.
All right, I like it. Offensively, Steve, it's going to be a chance for Bo Nix, Jarrett Stidham, Zach Wilson to all kind of have a shot and try some things out. Again, test what this offense looks like going against other people. Vance Joseph said it today. Sometimes when you're going against yourself, you can get kind of a false reading on how you're doing, and this gives them a chance to see a different scheme, gives them a chance to see some other players. Based on the rotation, it would seem like maybe it's Bo Nix's turn with the first team tomorrow. We'll have to see if that's how it goes. Sean Payton did say it would be similar to last week's schedule, which Stidham got the one-team reps on Friday, so maybe it'll be the same for Bo Nix. I would imagine it would be. Steve, for him, how valuable is this? You know, we already know he's going to start the preseason game, but for him to also get these joint practice reps against the Packers starters, what kind of work can that be for him?
I think it can be great work. The more times you practice, the more times you get under center and take snaps from the center, the more times you see those same plays over and over and over again, especially with the same guys, I think the better it's going to be. And I'm just so impressed with Bo Nix. I know a lot of people are impressed with him as well, but just the composure that he has as a rookie quarterback, the accuracy, his thought process, he thinks really quickly right there on the field. So I'm looking for him to just continue doing what he's been doing. He doesn't have to do anything super, although it does seem super to us because, you know, we're not used to seeing that, especially that out of a young quarterback this soon. So hopefully he just continues to improve. And I like to see the same thing for both Zach Wilson and Jarrett Stidham as well. I like to see those guys go out there, play a solid game, not make any mental errors, and throw accurate passes.
We've heard a lot, Steve, about the competition, especially a wide receiver. For these guys tomorrow and in the evaluation process as we move forward, how big do you think this is for guys to try to go out and make plays and show that they deserve a spot?
Yeah, it's huge, and you only have so many chances to make an impression, especially when the room is as deep as the wide receivers room is. I mean, David Sills, Mike Bandy, those guys can make plays too. Although many people may not know who they are because they've been on the practice squad, those guys – I think we have a very deep wide receiver room, and the guys who make an impact in game-type situations are going to catch the coach's eyes, and don't be surprised if those are the guys that will be starting when the regular season rolls around.
I like it, Steve. Well, I'm fired up about tomorrow. It's always one of my favorite days of training camp when we get to have those joint practices. We will be back here tomorrow afternoon to break it all down, let you know exactly what happened out there between the Broncos and Packers. But for now, for the Hall of Famer Steve Atwater, I'm Aric DiLalla.